The question is there going to be any participation in how this shapes, so we don't break the internet, by others? And NetMundial is attempting to create that platform where different voices can be heard around issues, as opposed to this debate moving squarely. If we don't provide a place for that debate to happen, it will squarely move into existing multilateral intergovernmental organization. There's just no other place. I mean, for God's sake, they tried to get spam to be run by a treaty.
They weren't really talking about spam. That was about security and surveillance. They just didn't want to say it.
Content.
But the point precisely, that they wanted to open the discussion that, look, we need governments to build treaties around this stuff. We need governments to control this stuff. And I think you're right, that they were using this very simple thing, because who could argue that too much spam is bad? But the reality is this was the opening to get in and start building treaties on internet governance issues between governments where we're not even allowed in the room. And this is, I think, a danger. We are, again, very pleased that the Brazilian government backed off that direction after we met with President Rousseff on the heels of her speech at the UN, at the General Assembly. And this is important, because when you have a leader in the BRICS starts stepping back and saying, okay, we believe that these multi-stakeholder folks can really solve the issue. That was good. But now we have to provide a solution. We can't just keep telling them, yes, multi-stakeholder. They say, great. You know what happened after the Brazilian president said multi-stakeholder, not multilateral? And she tweeted that after I met her. Then people said, great, where do we go? Okay, we accept that we shouldn't be solving this in the multilateral space. Where do we go? And I said, well, not that I can, because I just do names and numbers. They said, fine, where do we go? We can't have the answer to where do we go vacuous for too long. We have to give people a place where they can start coalescing in an open, multi-stakeholder way and solving issues. One footnote on that, Andrew, because I think you'll appreciate this. Here's the danger. I use the term one place. And many people have big antennas going up when I say one place. So, wait a second. Are we talking about some body or some new organization where all internet governance happens? And I agree with them. We do not want a centralized organization where everything happens. It's not going to work. The key is to continue pushing for what we're calling a polycentric model, a model with many centers, a distributed model, right? So ICANN is one of the centers for names and numbers. The W3C is another center for certain XML and HTML standards. The IETF, remarkable center to do other things. We need more such centers. And when you have a polycentric model of internet governance, you need one thing, so that the minister from Rwanda doesn't stand up again and say, this is too confusing, guys. Can we just pull this all under the UN where, I'm a small minister from a small country. How am I going to figure out this polycentric thing? And he's right. Jean Philbert is right. This is too much. It's easier for me to show up, put my flag, and somebody tells me exactly where things are. I have 3 staffers, he says. What am I going to cover? The ITU and ICANN and the IETF and this. And now you're telling me there will be 30 other small organizations solving every issue. Because we want that. We want a polycentric model. It's much better. It's more efficient, it's more effective, and it moves faster, and it doesn't concentrate power. So the answer to his question is we need a map. We need some map. So he can find the answers. And he agreed with me, and I'm using him as an example because Jean Philbert is a superb guy, and I met him here at Metrotech. He came for a speech that Beth Novak invited him to do. And he said, we need a map. We, the tens of small governments who don't have the resources of the US government and the European governments, we need someone to tell us, look, you're looking for a child protection policy. Here's 6 that have been implemented. This is which one worked. This is how they worked. This is a network of experts to help you implement yours. That's a map. So one of the first things NetMundial will do is focus on that, is build a map so that we can help people find their way through a polycentric, highly distributed model.